Hold on. Facebook is doing something interesting. Hold on. Let me make sure we're going good on Facebook. Hold on. It looks like we should be good on Facebook. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. We're good. We're live. We're live with Lisa Barnett, AkashicKnowing.com. Welcome back, Lisa.
Thank you, Valerie. I'm always excited to be here. Just fun, deep conversation. So much to talk about, right?
Oh my goodness, so much to talk about. So the last time you were here, we got all into the Akashic Records. I learned so much. I learned about the Akashic Record Keepers, which I had never heard of before from anyone in all these years of being on the spiritual path, talking to people about spirituality, studying the Akashic Record, all of it. I had never heard anyone say what you said the last time you were here. So just thank you. Because that comes from a deep place of mastery, doesn't it? Of really going in deep with the Akashic Record. So first, before we go further, because I have some questions for you, before we go any further, we have to tell everyone who you are. So this is Lisa Barnett of Akashic Knowing. I'm going to pull up your website and share it right now on the live stream. And I'm also going to share your book. And of course, it's going to be linked up below, family. So first, tell us about Akashic Knowing. Tell us about that, Lisa, and about you.
I love this. Well, there you can see my 4 books. So Akasha, brand new book this year, or this month, I'm sorry. Your Soul Has a Plan actually just came out in January. So those are my 2 newest books. But I have been writing about the Akashic Records almost 10 years? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to really age myself anymore. Thank you.
Well, you still have a youthful glow. You're young, yes, and vibrant. You always bring so much light and so much vibrancy and high vibration and high frequencies. We can just feel it when we're with you. That's why I love having you around with us, on this journey.
Yeah, so I teach people to access their own Akashic records. So if you kind of scroll back up, you'll see some of my classes. You can see a little bit of my services. I do Akashic readings for clients. I teach them to access their own Akashic records. Of course, I do a certification program. So I teach Akashic self-mastery for people to personally dive deep into their own soul's wisdom and that big journey of the soul, right? Understanding your soul plan, your past lives, why you're here in this life. So that's all about our own personal Akashic self-mastery. And then I offer career mastery. So for people who want to go on and become certified Akashic consultants with my school, Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, they do my year program and we go again, very deep dive. My record keepers are always wanting us to go deeper and teach them more. So there's 4 sections to that year-long program, which eventually ends up in being a certified consultant with over 75 readings under your belt, with learning how to heal for the clients. And so to me, the importance is that someone's not reading a book and going, oh, I can go do that for people. And, they're randomly stumping around and maybe mucking about in your Akasha. We don't want that.
Wow.
So my consultants have done 75 plus readings and been practicing at least for over a year before they become certified.
Wow. That's very comprehensive, it sounds like.
Yes. And wait, before you scroll. So if you're interested in getting this brand new book, the Akasha, that's up just a little bit, but you'll get 4 free gifts with it.
Oh, look at that. Right.
So if
How
you
many? What are the gifts? What are the gifts? We love gifts.
scroll down, you'll see.
Oh,
Scroll
go
down
back.
that page
Okay.
a little bit. You'll
Go
see.
back. Okay.
No. On that page where you were.
Oh, on that page
Sorry.
where I was. Okay,
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yep.
I love these free gifts. I love it. So do we scroll down? You
Just
direct.
a little bit more. Yep.
Okay.
You'll get cute pictures of everything. Keep going. Just a little more. Just
Ooh.
there. Go.
Oh my goodness. You're giving away goodies.
Yes. So my rainbow shield meditation to keep you guided, guarded, and protected. I teach it in the book Akasha, but here's the audio version with music and column of light to help bring you into the Akashic records with me. Another guided visualization. The record keepers have given me over a dozen guided visualizations over the years, grounding the kite, helping people to really get embodied in this physical plane so that you can truly create and manifest the life of your desires. And then the fourth gift is a 30-day free membership in a beautiful platform called Positive Prime, where there are hundreds of videos about positivity. And they have now proven the videos that we put on Positive Prime, and you'll get to see my video on Positive Prime if you download that. They have proven scientifically through neuroscience that 3 minutes a day of watching these positive videos on Positive Prime, they're made specifically to do this, will hold that positive energy really in your mind for up to 8 hours a day. So 3 minutes of watching beautiful, positive meditative videos can shift your day for the whole day. And if you do it on a daily basis, it will start to transform your life. So I always tell my students who take my workshops too, or my clients after a reading, do this, sign up for Positive Prime. And this helps to rewire the brain. This is proven through neuroscience. Absolutely. So it's a huge, piece of transforming ourselves, of raising our vibration and holding that vibration high so we can create the life that our heart and soul desires.
Oh my goodness, I love that. Well, that's an easy one. So that's that only one button to click, family, and that's buy now. Right there.
Right? There you go. Yeah, so you buy it, you go back, you fill out the little form with your
little form.
Proof of
purchase.
Right there, fill that out, and then you submit that, and then you'll get the 4 free gifts to download.
And you put your Amazon receipt number in the form.
Yes.
Perfect. I also bought your book up on Common Sentience, on the Common Sentience page on the Sacred Stories website too. So your book, your incredible book, Akasha, is part of a whole series. We would love for everyone to get all the books. And I'm in the series as well. And there's your beautiful face right there. There is your book.
And you're right next to me.
Yeah, we're right next to each other. Our books come out aligned. And then we even have Neil Donald Walsh coming out soon too. Yeah, that's the next one, right?
God Talk, that's right. So very exciting. And congratulations. Yours was just published, right?
Just published, and it is in pre-order now, and it launches on my birthday, October 4th in Salem at a book launch party that we'll be having in Salem. So that is going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a ton of fun.
I wish I was closer. I'm on the West Coast. But if I was close, I would be there. That sounds like a blast.
Oh my goodness. So it was so good meeting you and seeing you. I saw you every time I came past your booth at the Conscious Life Expo in California. Someone was right there with you. You had reading after reading after reading. So tell us, what are the readings about? Because people were you were just booked the entire time. Right? So what are these readings about? What do people want to know? What kind of readings are you doing? Because I'm telling you, I don't even think we came by once and there was not a client in front of you. which was pretty freaking amazing. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I do love doing these expos because it does, allow people more access to me, right? So what I do is I do Akashic record readings and healing sessions. And basically I open the person's records themselves. So everyone has their own Akashic record, which is the recording of your soul's journey through all time space continuum. So most of us have lived somewhere between 500 and 800 lives here on Earth. So you have a big library filled with information about your earthly lives. And there is also information about your galactic lives. So that means that everyone is actually a starseed. We've lived in other planets, planes, and dimensions. Many of us have had lives in angelic realms, and of course, plenty of lives in between. So all of that is written in your Akashic records. So lots that people ask. I really love to have people ask questions so that we can, meet them where they are. What do you want to know about? And so often clients want to know about soul contracts with their family members, significant partners. We can work in your records around your business. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow your business, we can literally access the soul of your business to help support that.
You mean the soul of the business in addition to the person's soul?
Yes.
The actual soul and essence of the business itself.
Right. So you go into the person's records for all the personal work, right? So if you want to learn about soul contracts and people in your life, you want to learn about health and vitality, or of course, people love to know about, what's blocking me from making more money. So the abundance factor, really of all kinds. So whether it's health, wealth, or love, right? We work on all of those aspects. Because before we embody every single time, so if you've been here to this planet, 500 lifetimes, before you come in, you write a new plan to bring gifts and talents, to decide who you want to be born to, right? Who are my parents? Who are my siblings? Who are my children? Who are my significant partners? Of course, we don't all put all of that in. It's all a choice for you as a soul. So you may choose a challenging parent, right? Maybe you've got a narcissistic or addicted parent, and we choose those for reasons. And often clients come to me because they want to know why the heck.
They know that they chose it, but now we want to know why we chose it.
Right. What does that mean? Is there a lesson to learn? Am I here in support, say, to that parent? Have I completed my support contract? Can I go on my way now?
Good questions.
Right? Because our contracts can end. Most of our contracts are actually not for life.
Okay, that was going to be a question that I was going to ask. With us creating this, because Kabbalah teaches something they're saying the exact same thing you're saying, just in different terminology. And I love that, because whenever you find alignment and synchronicity, it just gives you truth, right? It gives you resonance. And my question on this, after, a lot of us have been on the spiritual path for a long time, and we know, okay, I made this life. I created this life. And we understand that we created this life from a higher level of consciousness than the conscious mind. The question that I've always had in my mind, why do people keep coming back to this planet? Because this is not an easy planet. Why do we keep coming back to this one when there's so many places we could go?
Right. Well, we are infinite souls. So I would say that most of us have been out there in the other worlds and realms before we come here. So we don't come here first. This is not the easy place to come. But in a very kind of weird human translation, I would say often as very infinite souls, we get a little bored. we want to learn, we want to grow, we want a little challenge, right? So
Yeah.
Earth offers us a challenge. So
Quite a bit of challenge.
yeah. So kind of first step is, let me go where life is a little bit more challenging, where I believe I'm separate, where I write a whole plan and then I have full amnesia. Now, what's that about, right? But it truly is part of the game. So if you look at it like we are playing this big video game, right? People talk about it like being a matrix or the matrix, right? It's, to me, very often the idea of playing a video game. I've got 20 something children. And so I've seen a lot of video games. You pick your avatar, right? You pick your body, you pick your weapons, or whatever your tool is. And you get in there and you do it and you play full out to win.
Oh, we're playing. I mean, we're so into it. We're just playing. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So when we can start to look at it that way, in a sense, I wrote a plan. Now I have amnesia. I'm going to have to kind of wing it and figure it out the best I can. But there are very kind of big lessons that we really come to learn. Again, infinite souls. I want to learn something. I want to grow. I want to support other people. I want to share my gifts and talents. And so we write all of that into the soul plan. So that's all kind of built into the game. And then we have to remember it. We have to kind of figure it out. We have to trust our intuition. If you're lucky, you learn to access your Akashic records so you can figure out your soul plan through the Akash. And then, we do our soul work. That's really what this is about doing our soul work. And as humans, again, and we're moving out of this, but in the last, let's just call it 10,000 years, we have been stuck in an energetic karmic wheel, right? Ooh. So when we created this earth, and I say when we created the earth, because I know as big, wise, awake souls, we actually said, let's see, where are we going to play this crazy game? Let's make a place to play it where it's only 3D here, where we can have amnesia, where we believe in separation, where we have all of these programs that keep us in constriction. So it's not just another angelic being landing on a beautiful planet and just having a good time.
Just hanging out. Yeah.
Right. We are usually, doing 20 different projects at the same time, right?
Absolutely. And you were reading my mind earlier because when you said, and we come here and then we get amnesia, I said, wow, there goes my next question. My next question is going to be, why do we forget? Now we did all this in dimensions beyond. Right. Then we come here, we forget the whole thing. Why do we forget?
Well, it would ruin the game if we remembered.
You would already know.
Right. So then, that's part of finding your way through a maze. So if you imagine that you're kind of trapped in a maze and maybe it's getting dark and you're getting a little nervous, am I going to find my way
flashlight out? And you're kind of feeling your way. That's what we look like sometime on the earth plane. Like, I don't know, but something tells me go this way.
Right. Yeah. So is there a support person, maybe somebody you wrote a contract with who's coming back for you? Maybe that's your partner, your best buddy, or maybe it's your mom or dad. They're like, honey, are you in there? Let me help you. Yeah. Right. So we write these beautiful contracts. But again, in a sense, it's really about us remembering the truth of who we are. And we have to do that feeling around, trying to figure it out in order to truly come to that place of remembrance.
Yes, of remembrance. Now, once you remember, and once you start to have this awakening and things begin clicking and you begin taking responsibility on this spiritual path, right? Saying, okay, I created whatever this is, and now I'm going to recreate it. I'm going to create, because for me, I went through a tremendous amount of adversity to get me to, okay, Let me take 100% responsibility for my life and let me create that which I desire. I know how the Akashic Records can get you out of trouble. How can they get you into your dream life? Like, so now we want to be very aspirational. We want to go to our highest soul calling, our greatest gift expression on the planet. How can the Akashic Record and the Akashic Record Keepers help us do that?
Yeah, so it really is amazing because again, we're thinking, you know, my 500 lives actually kind of in my world, the big joke is the record keepers have told me that I've been here 1,000 times. So
ooh, you're like Jesus. I heard he had 2,000 lifetimes to become Jesus. I guess Moses probably had maybe 1,500 or 2,000 to be Moses.
I'm done at 1,000. I
like
was 1,000.
You know, you going back 1,000 more, Lisa?
Right. No, thank you. This is it. Thanks. I'm good.
You got to go to some other places after this one, huh?
Yeah. Right, right. And I was I was born very awake. I actually remembered at 3. So my amnesia didn't last so long.
Wow.
And that was a little traumatizing also.
Oh, yeah. And were you around people that were still in the matrix or were they awakened?
No, my parents were very agnostic.
Okay,
so
okay.
It actually worked for me very well.
Okay,
they were kind, loving, supportive, you know, very just lovely people. And, you know, they were like, it's okay, honey, you are home. You don't have to go back anywhere. We'll take care of you. So I was like,
oh, that's beautiful.
You know?
Well, you know what's fascinating about that is that you picked parents that did not indoctrinate you or seek to indoctrinate you in any of the religions. So you had already ascended beyond religion.
Right. And that was kind of, again, we look at these purposes. So I picked family that did not give me any particular trauma. My parents were not traumatizing at all.
Good.
I ended up creating my own traumas because I think it really is, or what the record keepers say, it's part of the way we really learn and grow. Mm-hmm. So my 2 soul sisters, my 2 very best friends died before I was 19. Right. So
I remember you spoke about that. Like you had some really deep releasing of bodies around you experiences.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And, you know, in a sense, you know, we always build in trauma or triggers or ways to wake us up. And when Marsha crossed and I was 13, it really triggered my memory, that feeling that I'm supposed to heal her. And I don't know how. I know nothing. I mean, I haven't even been to church. I don't even know how to pray, which was not indoctrination, was a little bit like askew. I thought, really? I don't even know how to pray. I'm like, but
yet your healer was awakened.
Yes, I became aware that I was a healer. I started to read all the esoteric books I could get my hands on. But, you know, so it did wake me up to open that door to go down, you know, a deeper path. Okay. But what I found, to actually go back and answer your question, is that because we have been wise women and wise men and shaman and healers, we've been part of the ancient mystery schools and the goddess temples, and we've been part of the amazing temples in ancient Egypt, and of course we have been witches many times. The challenge for many people is that they have died in that, you know, paradigm in the Dark Ages, in that 500 years of the Inquisition. So I do a lot of healing for people around clearing the emotional pain and trauma of being killed as a witch, right?
That's a big one. They call it the witch wound. That's a very big one.
It's a very big one for most light workers. Really? Because it lasted so long. I mean, 500 years.
That's a lot of
yeah. But when we clear a lot of those wounds, that pain, that physical pain, emotional pain, trauma, we can then reclaim the wisdom and the gifts that we had in those lifetimes. Right? So we now understand our soul plan. We do a lot of the healing around the pain and trauma. And then it's time for us to really, what are the gifts and talents? What did I come to share or teach or do in this world? And then we can go back and really consciously reclaim those gifts that we've already honed 500 other lifetimes, and energetically, because we are all energy, there is no time space. So I am working in the quantum field, so we can literally reclaim some of these gifts energetically to start to raise our vibration, to start to remember, to download some of these keys and codes that we had in these other lives that help us on our spiritual path, help us take higher and really take our next steps.
Oh, I love it. You triggered something for me when you said that you can reclaim the wisdom that you had in those lifetimes. So could you say more about that? So we've been a medicine person. So we had all these herbs around us. Like I just have all these herbs like in my consciousness, yet my consciousness has not fully, I feel like there's a whole big encyclopedia that I'm just starting at I'm just in like page 10 or something like that. I feel like I've stumbled onto these encyclopedias in my consciousness of like, how do I even know this? And what you're saying here is that if we can, not if, because we can, when we heal the trauma of that particular lifetime. I remember a couple of lifetimes where I was burned and one where I was drowned. And the water thing works with me sometimes, right? So I've been friends with water because I was drowned for the same experience, right? And that was, one of the first things I said to myself when I came out as a Christian witch publicly, which was a long time ago, I said, oh, no, I'm not doing this with you again, spirit. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I already died before doing this. I'm not doing it. And so when you said that you get to tap into, reclaim the wisdom from those lifetimes, do you find that when people do this work with the Akashic Records, that they actually do go to each one of these lifetimes, reclaim that wisdom, or do they not have to go to each one? They just have to go to certain ones. Like, how does it work when you do that kind of work with people?
Great. Fascinating question, actually. So of course, because we're very, very unique. So I might have one student who has only had 500 lives and another who's had 800 lives. And so, of course, we do learn and grow over all these different lifetimes. And this is why I teach, what we were looking at is Akashic self-mastery, because when you learn to do this work for yourself, then you can go in and you would open your Akashic records. I would say to my record keepers, show me the past lives in which I was an herbalist.
Oh, that's
show me a bunch of these lives. So there were lives kind of in ancient England, and I get actually that you have some in the UK. You've got quite a few in Europe too, and Ireland, as well as all of those kind of past lives where you were kind of an herbalist and even an apothecary, they're saying. And so
my daughter just said to me today, Mom, you have an apothecary in your kitchen. It keeps coming back. Yeah. It's like I wake up again. Okay, let me go get some herbs. Lifetime number 712. I don't know.
So I start with kind of simple. I would ask to energetically download those memories, those keys, those codes, kind of that wisdom. So bring it into my body on a cellular level to start with. And then I would ask the record keepers, so what part of this is important for me to use, right? Am I here to create a new apothecary? Is this part of my work with the world? Am I going to work with people using medicinal herbs or using plant medicine, right? So asking a lot of questions of your record keepers so you can get a lot of information about your idea of bringing this forward in this life, right? Because obviously it's one of the gifts you want to bring forward. So why? What was I thinking? What's the plan? How can I use this for the highest good, for myself, for my family, my community, right? My work. And so I just would go in and ask lots of questions, including things that are useful for us today, like, is it beneficial for me to take some sort of class, now in this body, right? Would it be good to learn more, to become an herbalist, through like, would it be, because you've also been an acupuncturist. So, would it be a good idea for me to go back to school and study acupuncture? Well, I'm hearing no, but anyway, but the herbal aspect. So, the herbal aspect is a kind of a big yes. And part of the reason I hear that, right, again, so I want to be like, I'm kind of linear about that. So why?
Okay. I like your very logical questions too of the Akashic Record Keepers. I like it.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So part of what the record keepers have even been saying to me for a couple of years is that, as we're really changing our whole, sorry, it's like some wind blowing through my house. I'm like,
it's all good. We're used to spiritual phenomena around here. We're magical people.
Right.
Yes.
So as we're transforming our medical system, that it is important to have a lot of herbalists, to have a lot of naturopaths and acupuncturists and homeopathic, doctors. And so all of these aspects, they're really saying very, very important, even if you only use it for yourself or your family or your community, right? So often they suggest, do some workshops so that you kind of get the, boots on the ground aspect, right? So we can reclaim the energy and the codes and the memories. And many people download some like recipes, right? Medicinal recipes. Edgar KAISI was great.
Oh my goodness, right? Edgar KAISI was amazing. Okay.
Right. But he could do that because he was in a sleeping trance, which is easier to download because he was out. There was no filters, no personality.
Nothing going on. His consciousness was not involved at all. He was just such a pure channel.
Right. So for us, in the way that I teach my 5-step wisdom prayer system, which is actually in this new book, Akasha, so you can actually start to learn to access your own Akashic records by reading Akasha. But so all of that, so I really use it just as a tool every single day to get more information for myself on, whatever it is that I'm curious about. So whether it's about taking the herbal aspect deeper in your life, for what other purposes, how would I use this? Is it, beneficial for me to start have a part of my business, right? Again, you can start to access the soul of your business for the highest good of creating your work in the world.
I so love that. Now, question. Well, this is my next question. Is this akin to divination or not? When you're asking these kinds of questions, it's not a form of divination at all.
No, it's very different, right? Because, divination, we can, use pendulums or dowsing rods or divining rods or any of that kind of stuff. And those tools in divination is really good for the yes/no questions, right? Is it in my highest and best good to take that herbal class? So you can get a yes or no. But when you go into the Akashic records, you're really moving into a very special energy, which is this information arm of source that we call Akasha. And you have not only your own library with thousands or millions of books, you have a team of librarians in service to you. So they talk to you, right?
I love that.
You can ask a question and write a page of information that you download.
And what is the preparation for people to do this?
The record keepers really say nothing. It is everyone's birthright. So my course one, the first course that I teach, really is the very beginning, soup to nuts. I teach you about grounding and really bringing the soul more fully present into the physical body. I talk about being the sovereign of your body and your energy field, creating aspects so that you can be really guided, guarded, and protected as we do this expansive work. I really teach my 5-step wisdom prayer system, which takes you energetically from this third dimension into the Akash, into this very high vibrational energy. And so actually the interesting thing about the Akasha is that even as far as kind of dimensions or realms go, it's up there in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th dimensions. So as we go deeper, our Akashic Record Keepers, they go from these beings of light in the 8th dimension who are helping you figure out your life and your body and maybe, your relationships or, your foods or your exercise, right? So a little bit more basic earthly work. And so these beautiful beings of light are hanging out more in the, 8th, 9th dimensions. And then we have Akashic teachers who are here to help us to understand our soul plan and what we came to learn and understand kind of karmic, the karmic patterns that we've written into our plan, that we've created in our lives, whether it's through the family we're born into or relationships that we create, or sometimes they're physical challenges that may be part of a karmic pattern, or, so different programs that we have that we want to work through, move past our fear, our doubt, our shame, our game, our blame, our guilt, all of those low vibrational energies that many of us, still hold on to. So as we go kind of higher energetically into these deeper realms, there are Akashic Masters who are here in support really to your kind of higher next steps in your life. And then there are the Akashic Lords, which I hear are 12th dimensional beings. And the only time I ever hear from them is when they want me to write another book.
Oh, they help you with the actual channeling of the wisdom from very high into this third dimension?
Yes. Yeah. So it's interesting, Valerie, because people often say, where is the Akasha? And the record keepers have always said, well, it's part of source energy. It's part of this quantum field. It's nowhere, but yet we really connect to it through our sacred heart, which is a combination of the 4th chakra and your high heart, which is your spiritual heart. So I even teach my students to kind of expand and create this sacred heart space to more easily connect into the Akasha. And of course, we connect also kind of through the crown, through columns of energetic light, which is one of my gifts with the free gifts with the book.
Yes, I saw the light. Yes, yeah. The gifts. So yes,
they're processes. This is why I say, it's Akashic Self-Mastery is 2 classes, 2 separate workshops. And all together, I'm going to say it's about, I don't know what, let's say about 34 hours worth of teaching.
That's a lot. Wow.
Training. There's a lot to learn.
That's a lot. Wow. So people want to just work their way through it step by step, huh?
Yes. Yes. And the first class is 16 hours. So I have my next class is starting September 18th online on Zoom. And
so 16 hours, meaning an hour a week for 16 weeks, or how is it set up? You mean it's a course?
It's a course. So we meet 4 days for 4 hours each day. So,
Wow.
so this
Oh, you're heavy duty. You are heavy duty. I love it. No little skimpy hour, 90-minute Zooms around here. No. 4 hours. Okay. I love it.
It's a very deep dive into
that's what we need. That's what humanity needs.
Yeah, it's powerful work. And the record keepers just keep wanting me to take it deeper and bigger. And I just get more information all the time. So it gets more expansive, and I teach more stuff, and I download more meditations or tools, right? More and more, so that it becomes really a huge empowerment tool for your life. Is really what the Akashic Record is. So once you learn to use it and utilize it, it's something that you would use for the rest of your life. So everything. I have students who, I taught 15 years ago or so, who are part of my school, who are certified consultants now. And they just find that having this ability to access their own records, to ask about their next steps, especially when the world is in such a kind of, wild place where things are changing.
Yes, and rapidly changing. Yes.
We need to know, like, what is my highest and next best step? It's not what I thought it was 3 years ago. It's changed now. New doors are open. There's actually new wonderful possibilities showing up, right? So it's really about kind of staying current in your own Akasha, really understanding who you are, why you came, what your gifts are, and how you, as an infinite wise light worker, continues to support, yourself, your life, your family, your community, your work, whatever that may be. And so it's, this is the time we really get to share our gifts. The world is ready.
Oh, the world is ready. And the world needs it. I say it's all hands on deck. Yes. So if you have come, you have this soul calling to raise consciousness on this planet. It's all hands on deck now. It's time for all of the light workers, the gifted people, all of the shamans, the witches, all of us to step forward and midwife this new consciousness that's being born on the planet, because we're having a little, I like to compare it to birth. We're having this birthing experience, and it's amazing to be alive at this time on the planet. We planned to be here at this time of awakening.
We really did, and now it's finally here, right? So after 60 plus years of waiting around, I am so thrilled.
We're seeing it. It's here. It's here. Now, I have been following, as many spiritual people do, maybe you do, I wonder, we love studying physics. I love studying physics, and I love to hear Dr. Joe Dispenza say that science is a contemporary language of spirituality, and it's so true. And how a lot of times they say that scientists scale the mountain only to find the yogis and the gurus already sitting atop. So
I love that.
It's so true. And lately, and I found this to be so fascinating. Lately, I follow Professor Donald Hoffman from the University of California at Irvine. And he is talking about space-time is over, that there's a cadre of physicists, those who are scientists. He's not actually a physicist. He is an evolutionary biologist. And he also he's a neuroscientist as well. And they have actually gone beyond, in their mathematical computations, beyond space-time, and have found structures beyond space-time, the amplitahedron, They're talking about decorated permutations. So all of this talk about those things, where does it sit? Because spiritual people always knew there was so much more, that the real party was beyond space time. Like, we knew that. We didn't need any mathematical computations, yet science, I like that it's precise and it uses mathematical computations. And I like that, because now we're starting, the physicists are starting to say, hey guys, the real party is beyond space time. So how does that converge? And maybe you can end us with a couple of thoughts about where we're going, humanity. Where are we going?
Yeah. Into outer space. Absolutely. I love that. As a matter of fact, I'm starting my PhD on, I don't think I'm actually studying quantum physics, but I am working on, again, the bridge between science and spirituality, also. And there's so much fascinating information. I just wrote down, Donald Hoffman's name. I'll have to check that out, because that's amazing.
And that's another rabbit hole to go down, because he's got so many videos on YouTube where people are just interviewing him. And he wrote a book called The Case Against Reality. So he said, we have proof now. Hey guys, space-time is doomed. It's over. We've got to go beyond space-time. And he always talks about how space-time is a pretty fragile world, this world that we're in, and he calls it a headset. Like, the things that he says, it's the things we've been talking about in spirituality for a very long time. Right. I love hearing scientists talk like that.
It is. I mean, it is amazing. And so, to me, it's so validating, because, all the years ago, 15 or 20 years ago, when the record keeper said to me, one, will you help us re-anchor the Akasha back to Earth, because they kind of cut it loose and raise the vibration during the dark ages, because
I remember you said that. Yeah.
Right. And so when I said to them, really, kind of, why me? Why me? And they said, because you were one of us. And they said, but because you're a healer and you're very much a galactic traveler.
Oh.
And
there's so much light, Lisa. Really.
Just bringing that here, right? It's about bringing, even though I, in all, honesty, I don't have as clear memories of my lives on other planets as I do of life on Earth. Mm-hmm. But I really believe some of that is just about the timing, right? So really, we have been accessing the Earth Akasha and literally this has only been being re-anchored onto the planet since, around 1970. So
wow. It's
15 years here, so we really got that re-anchored. And when I started doing the anchoring work, again, by doing readings, talking about the Akashic Records, writing my first book, but, teaching, most people's, eyes just roll back in their head, like we know. They're like,
pretty amazing that there's like all your lives, 800 lives or more. They're all completely documented. And it shouldn't be strange, because we have a complete documentation on Earth of many of the things we've done. And as above, so below. So it shouldn't be strange to us.
Right. But it's taken us really until now where the Akashic Records, the idea, the word Akasha is starting to become a little bit more mainstream. So it's a hot topic in the kind of the woo world now. But mainstream, I don't know quite, but I'm working on it. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're leading the charge of making Akasha mainstream.
But that's why to get a PhD in some kind of, bridging of transformational education, but work on that next book about really bridging the science and start to write all about what the scientists have learned about that, because we have all had thousands or millions or billions, right? Because we're just infinite souls, lifetimes out there What I do know is I had a lifetime that lasted probably around 200,000 years.
Very fascinating, because do you know what Professor Hoffman says about that? He calls them, I actually put this, a little bit of this in the book Witch, because it's just so fascinating to me, because it's a complete convergence.
Right.
He talks about conscious agents, that there are conscious agents. He doesn't call them spirits or Akashic Record Keepers or angels or Orisha or any of the things, or gods and goddesses, any of the different ways that we would speak of different beings in different capacities beyond the third dimension.
Right.
He calls them conscious agents. And it is very fascinating what he says about conscious agents. This is a scientist talking about beings who are beyond the third dimension, and that all of us are conscious agents, and we choose to come into this third dimensional paradigm. And when we do, he calls it a headset. We put on the headset.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And that was, kind of what I got from the record keepers all those years ago when they asked me to start a school. And I was like, why me? Right. I'm a mom in the suburbs. And they said, because you were one of us.
Wow.
And I'm like, I was a record keeper? Really? Is that possible? And they kind of gave me their little story about how, as these infinite souls, when we first individuate, before we go on a big journey, some souls decide to be of service to other souls by keeping their records.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. It feels very loving, because when you were speaking of the Akashic Record Keepers the last time you were here on the channel, I felt that same feeling. It felt so loving and so personal.
Yes. They are pure light. They are pure love, right? Because they have just really individuated from source. And instead of dashing off, let's, go to some planet or something.
Yeah, have fun. Let's have fun going all around the universe.
Let's kind of learn and be of service to other souls. And of course, they are learning and growing as they're doing it, because they're coming to understand and read these books, in the Akasha, about people's human lives and their other galactic lives, their other planets and dimensions. So they actually get to study up what's out there before they decide where they want to go, and they kind of leave the library and move on into their next stage. And so they really are just pure light and pure love. And it was such an honor when they said that to me, because I had, of course, again, I didn't have any idea, right?
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see, like, calling up to Akasha, hey, I need some help down there. And Lisa answering, okay, let's have a deep breath. I can see you answering phone.
Yep, I love that. I know, that's hysterical. So
where are we going?
So the wonderful thing is, again, when we as humans learn to access our own Akashic records, we really are in this energy of pure love, and we really are guided by that wisdom, that love. There is no judgment in the Akasha. These beings have never been human, which is a huge gift to us, because there's no opinions, there's no judgment, there's no, let me tell you how to do it.
What a gift. What a gift.
So, yeah. So that access, that ongoing connection and communication that we can create with our record keepers, that's why I say one of the most profound empowerment tools on the planet, to have this team of beings of light who are here just waiting to answer your questions, just waiting to support you
on demand, just like that.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. That's inspiration enough to talk to them. So if you're watching, that is inspiration enough for you to pick up Lisa's book, a few of them, give some for gifts for holidays, right? Holidays are coming up too, right? That's enough reason to tap in, because they're waiting to serve us. And why not be served in that capacity? Why not? It's going to help everything, every area of our lives on the third dimensional plane and beyond, our soul's work, which is the most important thing to me in my life and what I signed up in this lifetime for. So Lisa, oh my goodness, thank you for being here again, for taking time out of your very, very full schedule, because I know we are filming for, are you going to also be on Humanity's team?
Yes.
Wars. So you all, Lisa has a full schedule. Are you going to be at the Conscious Life Expo again next year in February?
I am not going to. I am keeping my fingers crossed that I'm actually shooting a TV pilot or something else. So I will not be at the Conscious Life Expo. So I will miss you. I'm sorry. But, hopefully somewhere else we will connect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And anytime you want to come back to the channel and teach us more, we're always open. We would always welcome you, because you always bring light, energy, you inspire us, you uplift us, and you have the wisdom and the depth to go with it. And that we really appreciate. So thank you, Lisa Barnett, AkashicKnowing.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Valerie. It has been such a pleasure and joy. And I just, again, have to say congratulations on your new book coming out. And it's so powerful. The whole series is amazing. So pick up Akasha. It's available now. And then in October, which will be available. And it's just all very exciting. So thank you for having me on to share this wisdom.
My goodness. Absolutely. And thank you for coming. Peace and love, family. Be well.